Hey everyone! Today I am doing my March book haul. I seem to be back to doing monthly book hauls these days, like ever since the holidays rolled around. There's just been too many books in too little time. So I'm having a bad hair day today, so just don't look at this. I think I have about 13 books here today, so if you're superstitious, be aware of these books. I had some sent to me from publishers and authors. I had some gift cards from Valentine's Day, so I bought some books, and I had a ton of luck at my library book sale this month. So yeah, let's just jump right in, starting with the books that were sent to me. The first one is The Tangled Lands. This is a finished copy, and I actually was sent an ARC copy of this book a couple weeks ago from Wonderkind PR, which I think this was also sent from them, but like any other book they sent me, it had the return address of Wonderkind, but this one had the return address of the actual publisher. So whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. I did read the ARC that I had, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I may do a giveaway on this at some point, but the cover is really pretty, so I may just keep it for myself anyway. And then the other book that Wonderkind sent to me was The Oracle Year by Charles Sewell. I'm not sure how to read. This whole channel is just a big lie. This book gets released on April 3rd, and I believe this is an adult novel that follows a guy who can see the future, so I think it's a little bit like sci-fi or dystopian. And from what I gather from the little sheet of paper that they sent with this, it's already being adapted into a TV show, so that's pretty cool. And the last book that was sent to me was sent from the author in exchange for an honest review, and that is Snow City by G.A. Catherines. Actually a signed copy, which I really appreciate when authors like take the time to actually do that. And it also came with a lovely little letter, so thank you so much to her for sending me this book. I believe this is also a adult novel that follows a woman who, I want to say it's a bit of like a dystopian world that isn't that great, and so she kind of dreams up this other world, and then one day she wakes up and she's actually in that world, which I assume is called Snow City. So yeah, I love the cover of this. Like, that is gorgeous and really pretty colors. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to pick this one up. Now onto the books that I bought myself. It's very rare that I don't buy books secondhand, so this is a special occasion. And the first one I got is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is the exclusive collector's edition, which I got it from Target, and I think that is the only place that you can get it. But it's the one that has the pretty illustrations on the end pages. I haven't read the book yet, so I'm not 100% sure who it is in all the illustrations. I hear people rave about this book. I believe it follows a girl called Kath, and she is going to college and she doesn't really fit in, but she writes these fan fictions for Simon Snow, which I think is like a play on Harry Potter. Of course, she meets this guy and some kind of romance probably happens. Super excited to read this one. I'm going to be reading it in April. I believe this is marketed as like a YA, but the characters seem to be more of a college age, which is going to be nice to actually read about characters that are the same age as me. And the other book that I bought, I got it from Walmart, and if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, then you've probably already seen this, and that is Disney's Who's Who, an A to Z of Disney characters. So this basically just goes through pretty much almost all the Disney films and all the different characters from them, and it gives you little facts about them. And then there are just little things like it says, "Did you know in early versions of the film's story, Bolt was named Henry?" No, I did not know that, but now I do. So yeah, it's just a really cool little book, like guide of all the Disney characters, and it says it's published by Disney Press, so I assume that this is like actual Disney and all the facts in here are completely real. Some of the facts are really cool, and then there's some of them that I'm just a bit like ones that are like this one for Toy Story. It's about Mr. Picklepants, and one of the did you know facts is Mr. Picklepants is a huge fan of horror movies. He's seen tons of them and always knows what's going to happen next. It's like, was that a fact I really needed to know? Like, yeah, overall it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to just sitting down and reading it, because so far I've just kind of flipped through and read some of the stuff. So now on to the books that I got from my library book sale. As I said, I had a lot of luck this month, so I found a bunch of beautiful old classics, so I'm going to show you them first. First three are all from the International Collectors Library, so they have beautiful bindings. And maybe I'm just completely out of the loop in life, but I have never heard of any of these books before. But the first one is Canterbury Tales, so that is what the cover and the spine looks like. The back is just boring. But each one of them has this little slip of paper inside that just tells you a bit about it, and like it says this volume comes to you in the Marie Antoinette binding, and it has very pretty end pages as well. And we have The Moon and Sixpence, and that's what that one looks like. And then finally of these ones we have Vanity Fair, which looks like this. this, and this one comes in the 19th century Mercier binding. I'm not sure how to say that. This one is super pretty. I also found this edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales, and I think I actually have Hans Christian Andersen Fairy Tales in this exact same edition, and these ones have these beautiful end pages that are just like so vibrant and colorful. And then I found this edition of Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, and it has this like little cube looking guy at the bottom. I've never read this before. Apparently this edition attracts a lot of animal hair. I found 3 other books at my library book sale. The first one is Legend by Marie Lu, which is the first book in a dystopian trilogy, and I actually read this book back in 2016, and I remember I rented the second and third book from the library, but I never got around to reading them, and by the time I actually thought about finishing the series, I kind of forgot most of this book, so I was like, I'd have to reread it, so I just never bothered. But I had been thinking about it recently, and apparently the last book in the series has like a really awesome ending, so I was like, maybe I should give it a go again, and it was like perfect timing, went to the book sale and they had this there, so I figured it must be fate, and I'm hoping to get around to rereading this soon and then actually finishing the trilogy. And then I found 2 adult thriller novels that you have probably heard of before. The first one is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, or Gillian Flynn, I don't know how to say that. This is a nice hardcover copy. I have never read or watched Gone Girl. In fact, I'm not even really sure what it's about, but I know it's a thriller, and a lot of people either seem to love it or hate it, so we'll see how I like it. And then I found The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I think this is like a newer one. Again, I don't know anything about it except that it is a thriller, and I think it takes place on a boat or like a cruise ship or something, so that seems like a pretty cool setting that I don't read about nearly often as I'd like to. Those are all of the books that I got in March. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books, what you think of them, and which ones you think I should get to first. And yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! And then I found this edition of Gulliver's